Hi guys, my name's Shayne Wilson. I've been asked to do a review of the Suunto 5 GPS watch. Just to let you know a little bit about me, I'm a stereotypical age grouper really. I'm a father of a beautiful young girl, 15-month-old, so squeezing in training, I have the same pressures of you guys of trying to squeeze in training and using technology to try and get the best out of myself. Got a beautiful wife Claire. She's absolutely delighted, as you can imagine, that we have yet another piece of triathlon technology entering our house. I'm also the father to Bruce, there he is, a beautiful French bulldog, and massively keen on triathlon. So a bit of a triathlon history. I've been into triathlon for about 7 years. When I started, I was about 16 and a half stone. I got dared to do my first triathlon, and I've not looked back since really. I've just absolutely loved the process, loved the training, even on glorious days like today. Absolutely love it. I set myself a goal of representing Great Britain in my age group. I've managed to do that. Only once though. I qualified for the Olympic last year as well, but unfortunately couldn't go to the Worlds because of the birth of my daughter. It just didn't quite work out that we'd be able to accommodate that. And then goals for this forthcoming triathlon season 2020 are to qualify to represent Great Britain for my age group again in 2021. And then also do as well as I can at some of the major championships, like the British Championships and that sort of stuff at Leeds. And then I fancy doing some sort of wacky adventure triathlon like Helvellyn or the Triathlon X half towards the end of the season, but we'll see how everything pans out for that. So let's crack on with the review of the Suunto 5 watch. So first impressions of the watch and its packaging. There it is, you can see. Looks great. Looks more like a wearable everyday watch than compared to my trusty Garmin. You'll be familiar with these, so I'm a regular Garmin user. As you can see, this does not have much everyday wear appeal. I don't think I could wear this to a meeting or just around and about, whereas that looks like I could pretty much wear that wherever through the day really. It is designed as a 24-hour watch, so you can use that as a functionality. So there it is. Looks great, doesn't it? Love the bezel. Feels solid. I can feel that actually that bezel is metal. Feels quite heavy actually, and well constructed, well designed. Doesn't feel solid. There doesn't appear to be any sort of wobbly bits or shaky bits on it or anything like that. But it is actually quite heavy. It's heavier than my usual everyday watch, which it's not too heavy, but it's reassuringly heavy, i.e. it feels like it's been really well made and well constructed. So when you get your Suunto watch, what comes with it? So we've got a great package, really well made and well designed. Minimum of stuff as well, which is always good. You get this little USB charger to come with your watch. You can see my watch charging there. Comes in that little packet. It's fairly easy to explain. You get this little really easy to set up guide. So my Suunto app is currently downloading so that I can then start to pair my watch to my app and then start training and sharing all my workouts and making sure it connects with Training Peaks and Strava, obviously most important for Strava, and all that sort of good stuff. Yeah, really well made, very safe. It's not come with any sort of knocks or damages or anything like that. Get a warranty in there. Some boring stuff in terms of safety matters and what have you. I'm sure I'll have a look at that in a minute. But yeah, fairly simple to get going really. Just plug your watch into your PC or Mac in my case, get it charging, download the app, sync them together. Really easy, very simple. Hi guys, just thought I'd give you a quick snippet into my first impressions of the Suunto 5 GPS watch. First impressions are it's fantastic. There is so much functionality that's probably different to what I'm used to in terms of the Garmin that I use. It is going to take me a little bit of a while to get my head around it and put some proper reviews together, but in terms of everyday usage, it is mega simple to use and set up. So
there are only a couple of apps that you need, a bit similar to Garmin really, where you've got Garmin Connect to display all of your workouts. There is a Suunto app to do that, and then there is a software downloader app as well that you would need to download. Really easy to do. It's very, very seamless, really easy to connect to all your Bluetooth devices and what have you as well. And around my house, which has been tricky for my Garmin, it finds GPS in literally seconds. Really impressed with the battery life. I'd read on a few reviews before I got it that the battery on these watches dies within a day. I mean, I've had it 5 days now, and I've charged it once, and I've been using it training wise for an hour and a half, 2 hours every day, and then fiddling with it and messing around with it and exploring it and all of that sort of stuff pretty much constantly as well. So really easy to use. I have to say, I've never had sort of a 24-hour physical watch before, monitoring my sleep and all that sort of stuff. I'm finding that really, really beneficial for an age group where recovery for us when we're training and working and all of that sort of stuff is really, really important. Being able to have a watch on your wrist that analyses how stressed you are, when you're getting stressed, your sleep, all of that sort of stuff really starts to make you think about, I can only get 7-8 hours, and I've got a baby girl as well, so I can only get maximum probably 7 hours sleep every night, and how can I make that better, and what are the things that I can do. It's really making me think, and I've only had it a few days, so first impressions, really impressed, absolutely loving having the watch and trying it out for the next sort of 4 to 6 weeks. Just off to the gym to carry on testing the Suunto 5. See what the functionality is like, as I do lots of different circuit training today, so we'll catch up later on in the gym. I'll probably be a bit more sweaty and exhausted than I am now. Catch you in a bit. So here I am, mid-gym sesh with the Suunto. I don't think this is a reflection on the Suunto, more wrist HR meters, but it is inconsistent. So I'll show you the screen in a second when it gets my heart rate. I'll show you what I mean. It's probably at my actual heart rate right now. 163. Give it a few seconds. Doing the same exercise at the same intensity, and there we have it. Down to 110, up to 160 now that I've taken time out of the workout to put the watch exactly where it needs to be. Like I said, this is more a reflection on wrist, HR meter, heart rate monitors. So if you want proper accuracy, I'd say go for the chest strap, which you can combine this Suunto with. Literally just got off the step mill, and it's going from 110, and it's still rising. And all that's happened is I've moved the machine. So it's probably not the Suunto, I think it's just endemic of wrist heart rate monitors in general. You can connect the Suunto to a chest heart rate monitor via Bluetooth, so it's not a big deal, but you've got to get the watch exactly right for it to read a consistent heart rate monitor. So you might notice the camera shaking slightly. That's because I've just finished my gym workout with the Suunto. So what was that? An hour and a half of weights, rowing, more weights, more rowing, more weights, more rowing, and yeah, felt great actually, because of the advice that the watch has given me around sleep, but also daily calorie intake, meant that I've had to really figure out some skills, and it's pointed out some weaknesses in terms of my recovery. So I've had to learn some skills around getting back to sleep after my baby girl wakes up. But actually, to be fair, it's made me and my wife really think about our sleep pattern, and put some strategies in place for Sienna to actually sleep better. So Claire and I have way more energy, and I'm actually eating better because I am using way more calories than I thought I was, with working and all that sort of stuff. So I am literally non-stop eating at the moment to try and get the calories in. So really all because the watch, as part of my life as a 24-hour watch, is pointing out some really useful information. still, I think if you're going to invest in I think the decision about getting a Suunto 5 is around, do you want a watch to train with, or do you want a watch, a fitness watch that you wear all the time and tracks your calories and stuff like that all the time? Because again, today, whilst I was working out, if my wrist wasn't quite in the same position, I'm a very heavy sweater, sometimes it just wasn't quite tracking my heart rate properly. So my hard row right at the end, it only just about picked up towards the end that my heart rate was getting up towards 170. For the most part, it was telling me it was around 110, something like that. So still, you could invest in or you probably got a heart rate strap that connects via Bluetooth that will connect to the watch, and I would advise using that, simply because with it being on your wrist moving around all the time whilst you're exercising, it doesn't track it as probably as accurately as you would want it to. But for everyday wear, it is absolutely just a stunning piece of kit.
So to surmise the review, I guess, of the Suunto 5, firstly, I've absolutely thoroughly enjoyed testing the watch. There she is. I think it's been brilliant to have, to be able to monitor all different aspects of my life, from the training that I do to the sleep that I have, to the amount of food and the types of food that I eat, all that sort of stuff. It's been absolutely fantastic. Not saying that you wouldn't get that with any other sort of, I guess, fitness watch that you can wear all the time, but for me, the Suunto has been absolutely brilliant for me. In terms of, I guess, things to consider, it doesn't have Bluetooth connectivity, so as I've said before in my review, if you have Ant Plus connective devices like power meter like I do, that would be a consideration for me to really consider whether I'm going to sell my power meter, get a Bluetooth connective power meter to be able to use a Suunto watch that doesn't have Ant Plus. HR readings, or the heart rate readings on your wrist, as with any wrist read heart rate monitor, can be a little bit inaccurate, particularly when your hands are moving. So if you're in the gym, if you're on the bike, that sort of stuff, it's not as accurate or as consistent as using a chest strap heart rate monitor. I will continue to use my Bluetooth connected heart rate monitor chest strap anyway in conjunction with this device, simply because I'd use a different computer whilst I'm training on my bike. Anyway, so for me, it's not that much of a consideration. It's been brilliant to be able to monitor my heart rate during the swim. Very surprising how elevated my heart rate actually is when I think I'm going pretty steady, when I'm not. But no, I think to surmise, it is a brilliant watch to use. The navigation which I used today, actually I got a little bit lost, and it kindly sort of hinted the way back to the route that I'd put in around work. So really useful stuff there, really. So in summation, really great watch, well worth it if you're considering to have a watch that you would wear all the time. That can also do a brilliant job of helping you train with it as well. It's so good, I'm selling my Garmin 910 XT if anybody wants to buy it from me, because I just don't need it anymore. It's redundant because the Suunto does everything that it does and a heck of a lot more.